So recently I had ANCEL reach out to me and ask if I'd be willing to try out this unit and see what I thought about it. So I've been out here at my wife's 2020 Tahoe for the last little bit here, going through some of the functions and features on this thing to get a feel for it. That way I can make a video for you guys, and then in turn you guys can maybe justify as to whether this might be the right purchase for you guys or not. And this is the PB600. It's a little bit newer model they've had to offer for a little bit here. What I really like about this thing is it's got a ton of different features packed into one little unit. So with that being said, I've been out here playing with some of the features on this thing to get a feel for how it operates, and I actually think it's a pretty cool unit. There's a few things though I kind of wish they would have done a little differently, and I'll explain what those are here in just a minute. Now first off, when you get this thing out of the storage case, you've got several different things available to you that you can use. So you get the unit itself here. Now it is attached to this cord here, which hooks directly to your battery. That's how this unit powers up. There is no internal battery on this thing. Now the cord on this unit is about 10 foot long. You're gonna have enough cord to pretty much work anywhere under the hood. Now if you do need a little bit more cord, they do supply you with this 20-foot cord here as well. And this thing, essentially, you just unplug your connector here that plugs to your two battery clips, plug this in line with those, and that gives you the availability to be able to run all the way to the clear of the back of the vehicle. Not to mention, if you've got one of those vehicles that has a battery that's mounted under the back seat, in the trunk of the car, or something of that nature, you're not limited to how much cord you've got. You've got 30 foot to work with total. Now since we're going over accessories here, I'll go ahead and run over a couple more with you as well here. You do also get this cord here, which has one of these self-piercing deals, and we'll go over that here in just a second as well as you get these little probes like you see here. This is the longer version, and then I've also got the shorter one plugged into the unit itself right now as well. You also get this little cord here, which has a USB-C on this side here, and that plugs in to the side of the unit right here. And what that's good for, and you can read the instructions on this because there's a few different functions, but the main one I've found so far that makes this nice is you're able to hook it to a relay and do a relay test. We'll run through that on the video as well today. When you first get this thing clipped onto your battery, you're gonna see this main screen here. You've got 6 options on the front of the screen, as well as 2 more on this screen, giving you 8 total functions. One of them being a setup to change your language, things like that. Now the first one I went ahead and played with was the battery, which is probably one of the most common things I come out here to check anyways, especially during the cold months when batteries are really strained. So I went ahead and I clicked on the battery, and then you have 3 things to check from here. You can check your battery, cranking test, or charging test. I'm gonna go ahead and show you a battery test real quick. If you click on that there, it's gonna tell you to knock off any surface charge off the battery before you run this test. That way you get an accurate result. Now if the vehicle's been sitting for some time and you come out here, chances are you probably don't have to worry about that. But if you just got done running the vehicle and you parked it in the driveway, you may wanna run the headlights or something like that just to knock that surface charge off. So go ahead and hit OK. It's gonna ask you to select which battery type you have. Now this thing's capable of doing a 12 volt and or 24 volt system. So if you got like a golf cart or something like that, you can use it on there as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and select cold cranking amps. My battery in my vehicle is a 750 cold cranking amp battery. Hit OK, and it's gonna test that battery for me. And what you're gonna see here in just a second when it gets done testing is it'll bring up a screen with the results here. Hopefully you can see that there. It shows you the results on the screen of how your battery tests. So in my case, my battery is a good battery. It's showing a 62%, which is a 656 cold cranking amps. This battery's factory in this vehicle, so we probably are gonna have to replace this battery within the next year. But for right now, it's still testing good, so we're good to go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and hit this back button here real quick, and we'll go back to the main menu. And as I mentioned, you can do the charging system and the starting system with this as well to let you know if you've got a good alternator, good starter, things of that nature as well. Now when I get back to the main menu here, you're also gonna see this is the 6 options I was telling you about here. And you can see you've got several different here to pick from across the screen. So I've got oscilloscope, multimeter, injector, relay test, and then you got an active test as well. So let's go ahead and do a relay test real quick. Now what's really cool about this little manual is that this thing really is really well laid out. It's got pretty much everything in here that you're gonna need in terms of how to use each of these functions. So if you're not a whiz at this, which I know enough to get myself in trouble usually, but not always enough to get myself out. I'm a weekend warrior type, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go find the relay page here. I'm gonna thumb through here. So here's the relay page here, and basically what we're gonna do is just gonna follow this diagram right here, and we're gonna hook up our relay. So let me go ahead and plug this into my unit here on the side like I showed you originally. We'll get that dude plugged in, and then we'll hook our relay up just like the diagram shows and the pages here. We'll hook red to 87, hook green to 87A, that's your center pin, hook black up to 30. You're gonna take the lead that's off the side of the unit here, that's gonna go to 86, which is on the back side here. Now what we're gonna do is bring this over like this. I'll select relay on my screen. It's gonna ask if you want to do 4-pin or 5-pin. Mine's a 5-pin relay. And I'll stick that right to the unit. I can feel that relay clicking in my hand, and then it's going to give me a check mark on the screen, let me know that's a good relay. So that's a quick and easy way to check a relay. Now obviously I know you could always grab another relay out of the control box in the vehicle, swap that out with one that you know is good, and you can go that route as well. But if you didn't want to go that route, or if you just wanted to know if you had a relay in the garage that was working good before you stuck it in the vehicle, that's the easy way to do that. There's something else you can do do with this unit as well is you can do ohm checks and diode checks, so resistance or whatnot. And something else as well that I probably should have mentioned earlier, you do have these LED lights here on the top. You can turn those off and on by holding down your up arrow, and now those lights are off. If you don't like that beeping sound on the unit and you want to shut that off temporarily, you can also hold down your down arrow, and then that turns off the buzzing, so you don't have to listen to that the whole time you're doing your testing. So let's go ahead and go into our multimeter now. And I've got this set to ohms on the screen here. So you can go through and you can check your grounds in your vehicle. Simple check right here is we can go straight to the battery, obviously, and that's gonna give us 0 ohms because that's directly at the battery source. Let's say you were checking one of your engine grounds, or if you had maybe an alternator ground, something of that nature, and you wanna go through and check, you can use this unit, tap that to your ground source and see if that ground is actually good or if you've got an issue there. And anything under 30 ohms is going to beep at you unless you've turned that buzzer off. But if it's under 30 ohms and you got the buzzer on, it'll let you know you may have an open wire that you need to address. Now, the one thing I do wish was a little different, because obviously I said you've got the short tip and the long tip. I do wish that you had a lead cord that you could plug into this and then have this thing be a little bit more flexible, because there are some spots on the engine bay where you've got tight spaces and it's kind of hard to get the unit in there. And then if you do get it in there, you have a hard time seeing the screen. So I would like to have seen another cord that come with this that I could just stick my hand down on the ground and then be able to look at the screen up somewhere near my face. But that's the only really gripe that I've been able to find on this unit so far. Now, another thing you could do with this as well, and this is just for sake of example, I did grab a resistor out of the garage that I wanted to check just to show you what this resistance might look like on the screen. So if you hook this lead up here on the side of the cord here to one side of my little resistor I've got, and then I just basically hook that resistor to the lead on here like so, you can see the resistance level on that resistor in ohms is going to be 468 ohms on that resistor. So that's going to show you kind of what that screen might look like if you've got a resistance on there that you need to track down, whether it be a faulty wire or connector, or if you're just wanting to check a basic resistor like I've got here in my hand. Now, this also can do diodes as well. Now, there's all kinds of diodes that are going to be in a vehicle that you can check. For sake of you guys being able to see what I'm actually doing on the screen here, we're going to do like we just did with the resistor. So on a typical diode, like you see here, you've got your little line there on that side, so you got your anode and your cathode on your diode here. So I'm going to put the side that's got the line on it on the clip side here, that's the cathode, and then I will bring this over to my tip as well, just like so. And you're gonna see 0.6 volts is what's being allowed to pass through this little diode. And that's correct, because this is just basically a little silicon diode that I got right here. Now, obviously, if I was to take this and plug it around the other direction and plug it in backwards, if the diode was faulty, you might see voltage going through it, but in my case here, it is showing OL, meaning this diode is not allowing current to go through it in reverse. So we know that's a good diode as well. So that's how you do your diode check. Now, there is one other accessory here I thought I'd take a second to show you here, and that's this little cord right here. So you could take this cord, essentially plug it into the top of your unit like this, and then you've got this self-piercing probe. Now, what I would have wished, like I said a minute ago, I wish they would have made a way where you could have taken your long lead here, plugged it into this cord, and you had that option as well. But for whatever reason, they decided not to do that. So we'll go ahead and take our lead here, put that back on like so. Now I went ahead and hooked up just a little wire off the side of my battery here, so I've got 12 volts on this temporary wire. Now, obviously, we could have taken our probe a second ago and just hooked it to the bare wire, like you see right here, and that had given us our voltage. But we want to show you this self-piercing. Now, obviously, whenever you use one of these right here, you're actually putting a hole in the insulation of your wire. So you want to keep that in mind, especially if this is going to be like under the vehicle or somewhere where it's exposed to the elements. Anytime you mess with the integrity of your wire insulation, that's just one more spot where that wire could potentially go bad over time. If you're in the vehicle under the dash, something of that nature, you got a little bit more forgivability there, but obviously you're going to want to repair that wire and either put a heat shrink on it or some kind of tape, something of that nature, if you're going to be piercing your wire. With that being said here, we'll go ahead and take this off and we'll put this right on the wire like so. And then we'll twist that down and the little piercing lead will pierce our jacket like you see there. And then now when we go to this screen here, you'll see at the top of the screen there, you got 12.5 volts, which is right off the battery there. And if I take that off the lead, now you see that went to 0 volts there. So that's how that pierce works. And then that also shows you how the voltage works on this thing as well. And then the last thing I can show you here real quick is they also have the ability that you can take the probe here and you can supply 12 volt positive and or ground to the end of this tip. So if you're wanting to test a sensor, a circuit, or even like a light bulb like I've got right here, all you'd have to do is you can take that little lead off the cord here like so. If you tap that here to the bottom of your light bulb like that, and then if you take your probe, push it to the side of your bulb, and then hit the positive supply power to it, you can see my light bulb here lights up. That's supplying 12 volt positive. You can also do the reverse on this as well, and you can actually use this as a ground source. So if you're trying to find a bad ground and you want to see if you got a bad ground lead, maybe say to the connector going to this light bulb, you can simply push the button here on the right and supply ground to your tip and see if that light bulb will light up, or whatever circuit you're working on lights up on that as well. Now this thing does a multitude of other things at the same time that I haven't even showed you in this video. You can check injectors, you can do frequency tests, oscilloscope, you name it with this unit, just by going into your main menu here and then following the prompts and then using your book here at the same time to walk you through the steps if you've never done that before. Overall, I think this is a really neat unit. I think there's a lot that's capable of doing things that I'm probably actually not even sure how to use yet that I'm going to go through and read myself. But for the price you could pick this up at and the amount of features that they've got built into this thing, I think this is absolutely a pretty neat little unit that you could have in the garage and be able to diagnose circuits on your own before you decide to take it to the shop and spend a lot of money on costly repairs. Other than that, that's all I've got for you in this video. I hope that was somewhat helpful for you. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.